Starmine.
Hey everyone, welcome to episode 3 of the Starmine podcast. I'm David.
I'm Nick.
And I'm John Error 1355 Sherman.
Going with your last name, huh?
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Alright, so let's jump right in. John, what did you do this week?
I played more of Assassin's Creed 4. Also got the new MLB game that came out for the PS4.
How's that?
It's pretty good. It is the same game as the PS3 version. Like, it plays identical, which I guess is good, but visually it looks a lot better. I think there's probably a few more years to go before it gets to where it really needs to be, because it really does look like just a PS3 game where they had more shaders. They're good lighting and everything, but just doesn't... It's hard to really explain, but I think maybe that's the issue with the next gen. That it looks better, but you can't really say it's like a giant leap. Overall, it plays the same, so it's good for me. I'd recommend it if anyone wants a baseball game. I think it's the only real one being made outside of like a really poorly made remake of the NES baseball game.
So, Backyard Sports doesn't exist anymore?
No. This is like the only, outside of that one MLB game I just talked about, this is the only licensed game I think of for baseball. EA was in the game for a bit with like MLB. I forget what they had for their name, but it was not very good. Or no, it was 2K, not EA.
Because EA's in the game.
Oh yeah. But yeah, 2K was putting off a game and they just gave up. They were the only ones that were allowed to put it on both systems. MLB has like the weirdest licensing deals where I don't even know what they really are, because it's like second party, because it's like or first party exclusivity. They're the only ones who can make it for the PS4 exclusive.
Oh yeah, it's only on PS4.
Yeah. It's not out on Xbox One. It's done by Sony Santa Monica.
Santa Monica.
Yeah. But yeah, the 2K game, the only thing that really had going for them in the last few years is that they were like giving out $1 million to the first person to pitch a perfect game. They bragged about how hard and realistic it would be to do, and someone did it on release day. Then the next year it was like, get $250,000. Our insurance went up.
Oh boy. Did you do anything else?
A little more Hearthstone.
Of course.
Yeah.
Some good stuff.
Bought more cards.
Bet you did.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
It's terrible. Outside of that, played a hell of a lot of that MLB game since Tuesday. So.
Cool.
I played a lot of Assassin's Creed, but I don't think I've moved a single story mission. I've started that dark path of just collecting everything.
Told you, man, don't do that.
You'll
lose your life.
I shouldn't, but I have. I have done it, and I don't know if I'm going to stop.
That's it? That's all you did?
Well, I mean, I would talk more about the MLB game, but neither one of you have huge questions on that.
Yeah, because I'm not big on sports games, and I'm not sure if Dave is.
I'll ask this. Is it as, like, impossible to play as MLB The Show? Because that game is just so fucking impossible to play.
Well, that's the game I'm talking about.
Is it just a new version of The Show?
Yeah, it's the PS4 version.
So it's literally like a copy.
Presumably there's a roster update?
Yeah, they have an interesting feature where you can set up your own like challenge. They give you like free tools. You can pick the score, pick what like how many balls and strikes you have, who's on deck, who's batting, who's pitching, the lineups for the team, and then set like goals. Like you have to get 2 runs without striking out once, and just put them up onto a challenge board and have other people do it. It costs this weird like coin. It's just like they have like coins that if you create your own challenge and put them up, you get a cut of the profits or something. But it costs money to do other challenges, not real money like these coins. So I just got into that. I just opened it up earlier. They have 2 achievement or trophies associated with it, so I figured I might as well take a look at it.
That is actually kind of interesting. I mean, that's a bit like what Burnout Paradise did with its races, that you could just make them up yourself.
Mm-hmm. Though the top-rated ones were all easy achievement. Turn this on and hit the baseball and you win. Because the achievement is beat someone else's community challenge. So it's like those Little Big Planet levels that are like, run in here and we'll give you every achievement possible in a custom level. Just walk into this thing and push a button and it all just happens.
That's what all the Little Big Planet levels were. It was either that, recreation of Mario levels, or like dicks everywhere.
Yeah, that was the thing with Little Big Planet. I enjoyed it when I first played a little bit of it. You know, you first start up, you're like, wow, this is really innovative and cool. And then after a while, you're like, man, this is just getting repetitive, and I'm starting to see everyone is just making stupid stuff up, and it's all the user created levels are just weird.
There were some really good ones. I remember there being some pretty good ones. Maybe not really good, but pretty good ones. And I mean, I really liked playing that game. Well, of course, I only ever played it over at your place, John, but I don't know. I really enjoyed that game.
Well, did you play the second one?
Nope.
Oh.
I got it for free from that when PlayStation Network went down. I've downloaded it and never turned it on.
We should check that out.
I should probably. I have like 2. I think every PlayStation Plus game I've downloaded in the last 4 or 5 months, I've just downloaded and never played. So
yeah, I still have Borderlands on my hard drive, just sitting there waiting to be played.
Never played Borderlands?
No.
Oh man, you gotta get what you keep saying for me to do for Dark Souls, you need to do for Borderlands.
All right.
I think it's Borderlands 2, but really doesn't matter.
Doesn't? I mean, yeah, that's what I have. I have Borderlands 2. Can I just jump into that one?
Hey, I mean, all you gotta know is that there's a place called Pandora, and there's a vault there. Okay. And it's got fancy treasures in it, probably, but no one really knows.
And everyone's going after that vault.
And you're a vault hunter.
Sounds good to me.
Hunting the vaults.
And you shoot a lot of things with guns that are randomly generated.
Okay.
It's like Diablo-style weapons that, like, you pick them up out of treasure chests and shit, and they're just, like, randomly generated, and some of them are really good, and they scale with your level, but you get to a point where, like I know at least in the first one, like, I would be behind on the side missions, like, turning them in, and then I'd go to turn them in, and they'd give me, like, this, like, awesome super gun, except for that, like, I got a better gun by killing a regular enemy, like, 5 minutes before that, because I'd taken so long.
Well, I'm a big fan of, like, super crazy customizable guns, so I'll probably like that then.
Well, they're not. Yeah, they're not customizable, but they're just randomly generated.
Oh.
The only thing I didn't like about it was, like, you would get special weapons for, like, beating certain bosses. Like, there was, like, a rocket launcher that, like, made, like, a shockwave in front of you as it exploded around, and, like, all this stuff, all these special types of weapons, and, like, once you got a little bit further in the game, they were just completely useless.
All right.
But, I mean, as I said, though, you get more, like, you basically get a machine, like, I had a machine gun that shoots lightning, I had a revolver that had exploding shots, I had a shotgun that shoots rockets, and in the description it says, "Holy crap! It shoots rockets."
Yeah.
That's awesome.
I
pretty
need to
good.
play 2 still. I own it
Yeah.
and every DLC for it. So
I never got around to finishing 1 actually, but I know I've played the ending, but I've never actually never finished my run of the game.
same here. I finished the game, but I didn't have the energy or willpower to go through the DLC.
Oh yeah, I guess I got the Game of the Year version, so I guess I do have the DLC as well.
I'm not sure which version I got. I got whatever was free on PlayStation Plus.
But
Yeah.
I'm talking about Borderlands 1. I don't know.
Yeah, it was Borderlands 2 on PlayStation Plus.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that's what I got.
So since we're already talking about you, Nick, what'd you do this past week?
Well, first off, my friend came over and he hasn't played Shadow of the Colossus ever, and I watched him play it from beginning to end in one sitting. So that
How
was
long did you
pretty
say
cool.
it took him?
6 hours.
It's pretty good.
Yeah. I helped him find some of the salamanders and stuff though.
I was gonna say, when you played that, you didn't know those things
No,
existed,
I didn't.
right?
Yeah, I beat it. I'm like, you can do that. That helps. That helps with the health and everything. I didn't no idea.
Yeah. John, you still haven't played it, right?
Correct.
You son of a bitch.
It's a
Whoa.
fucking masterpiece.
Yeah.
It is a glorious, amazing game. Everyone has to play it.
I think it's on my PlayStation Plus, so I can.
Yeah. I thought you said you had the HD version of Ico, Eco, whatever, and Shadow of the Colossus.
Yeah, I believe both of those were a PlayStation Plus thing.
Yeah, the HD version is the only version I ever played. So I don't know. I heard the PS2 version has frame rate issues and stuff.
A little bit.
A little bit.
Yeah, I don't remember specifically. It was just kind of one of those things you dealt with, I guess, back in the day. Back in 2008. I guess that's 6 years ago, though. Jesus.
Mm-hmm.
Or was that was 2004 came out, but I only ever actually played it when it was 2008 or something like that. But yeah, I guess that's probably true.
Yeah.
So what else did you do besides watch someone else play Shadow of the Colossus?
I watched my girlfriend play Knights of the Old Republic. It was just a watch-a-thon. Yeah, she played a bit of that. That's one of my favorite games of all time. If you haven't played it, you have to play it. I know Dave hasn't. John, have you played Knights of the Old Republic?
No, I have not.
You gotta remember, he still hasn't seen Star Wars.
Oh, right.
So.
Of course.
Yeah.
Okay, so do that, and then play Knights of the Old Republic. Otherwise, what else I did, I played more Battlefield 4, just dicking around in that, upgrading stuff. Nothing really worth talking about, but I got bored of Battlefield, and then I'm like, you know what? I'm going to put in Star Wars Battlefront, like Dave did the other week, and I had a bunch of fun with that. I played through Rise of the Empire about halfway through until I fell asleep on the couch.
You still don't have any medals, do you?
No, I do. I just didn't count them and tell you what they were. So,
yeah, I started my new account 2 or 3 weeks ago, and I'm already almost legendary on everything, which means I just get all the bonuses right as the game starts.
yeah. Other than that, I also played a bit of Warframe, which was sitting on my PS4 for a while. I played it the tutorial, but didn't touch it after that. I picked it up the other day, and I'm I go into a match, I have no idea what I'm doing, and all of a sudden I just hear this kid, and I'm like, what the hell's going on? What the hell is he talking about? So I quit that, and that's about it.
I actually do not. I've never even heard of Warframe, I don't think.
It's a free-to-play third-person shooter / melee combat thing. I don't know how to describe it. It's kind of like Mass Effect 3's multiplayer, except with much more complicated missions. That's how I would describe it. It's a lot like Mass Effect 3's multiplayer.
Oh, okay. I liked Mass Effect 3's multiplayer.
It was good. That was probably the best part about Mass Effect 3 was its multiplayer, surprisingly.
Yeah, I remember I was pretty much just the same, I was a Vanguard like I was with my Shepard, but
Oh, yeah.
yeah, I just went around, I did the biotic charge and then just blasted people apart with shotguns.
Yeah, what I did was I would always do the charge. I was like the same way, except I did the charge, and then I did the one where you slam down on the ground with that biotic power and it drains all your health. And then I just charge right afterwards. It charges back your health, and then just repeat over and over.
Yeah, I would do that too, until I get like picked up by what are the witch or whatever the fuck they are, the
Banshee.
Asari.
The Banshees.
That's
I hated that.
the Banshees would just pick you up and just insta kill you, which is the dumbest thing ever. I hate insta kills in like games like multiplayer stuff like that. That's crap.
Yeah. I haven't encountered anything since Mass Effect 3's multiplayer like that. But yeah, that's bullshit.
Yeah, there's like I understand them doing that because they probably just didn't want to, the multiplayer was probably just like a requirement from EA or something like that, which ended up being a pretty good addition. But it was probably just like, we don't really feel like, changing the AI, so why would we?
Yeah.
That would happen to me in the arena as well. Like when the arena breaks, quote unquote, whatever was going on with that. Have you ever did on the Citadel missions? Did you do that?
Citadel missions and
The arena?
oh yeah, that was fun.
Yeah. Whenever the arena breaks, the AI decides to kill you. Like I was like, usually I'm like, I'm the rushdown sort of thing, like we were just talking about. But with that, like it's just like 3 Banshees and like a bunch of troopers just like blowing the shit out of you the entire time. So you have to like actually use the cover system, and it was ridiculous. Like it was ridiculously hard, almost as hard. It was actually harder for me than the clone one with all the clones of Shepard.
You mean the one clone of Shepard?
No, you didn't.
Oh, right, yeah, the mode where
opponent?
it's just clones of Shepard. Oh, yeah. Okay,
Yeah.
I know what you're talking about now.
Yeah.
So they have an arena mini game in the Citadel?
In the Citadel DLC. It's really fun.
It's just more gauntlets of enemies like the rest of that game is, but it's if you liked the multiplayer but you didn't feel like finding a good group to play with, it was a pretty good way to do it. Also, you could fight with Rex and Garrus all the time, so that's what I would do.
Or Rex and Grunt, which is an awesome combo that you couldn't have in any of the games.
Rex.
Shepard.
Rex?
Okay.
So did you do anything else, Nick?
No, that's it.
That's it.
How about you?
Well, I actually just today played Journey for the first time.
How was that?
Probably one of the most fun experiences with a video game I've had in a very long time.
That's what I hear from everyone.
You've never played it before?
No.
Oh my gosh, you would. It's pure exploration. There's no attack button. It's just like the most beautiful journey you've ever been on.
Is Journey playing while you're playing Journey?
No.
Were
But
there...
like,
Or go on.
go ahead, John.
No, were there still people playing it? Like, were you having people jump into your game?
Yeah, and way to ruin it for Nick if you didn't know that's what was going on.
There's multiplayer?
No, Nick, there's not multiplayer.
What? Wait, what's going on?
Don't worry about it.
It's not.
Okay.
That's not a secret, though.
Yeah, it is. They don't tell you about it till the end.
Okay, don't spoil it for me. I want to play it.
Jesus Christ.
That is not a spoiler.
Yes, it is.
I'm adamant that is not a spoiler.
Yes, it is. That's a spoiler.
I'm just turning off the
No,
sound.
I am very upfront about spoilers, and that is not a spoiler. That is well known.
Yeah, unless you've never played the game before.
A gameplay spoiler is still a spoiler.
It's not a spoiler, but go on.
It is a spoiler. It is totally a spoiler. But yeah, I've never seen such a well-executed water level with no water.
What?
Yeah, that's how good it was. It was like Like, I was like, is this oh my gosh, this is the best water level ever. Oh my gosh, it's just they didn't have to make a trailer for that game, presumably, because every single time I would, like, accidentally jerk the camera in one direction or the other, I was like, wow, that's a trailer shot right there. Wow, that's another trailer shot. It was gorgeous from beginning to end in every single situation you were in.
Okay, I'll have to check that out for sure.
Yeah, it was fantastic. There were some, like, ridiculously fun moments. There's these flying scroll things. They're the ally theme is like these, like, ribbons or scrolls or whatever they are that, like, are sentient and, like, fly around. They're kind of like birds with really long tails, but your guy can kind of fly using some magic that they can regenerate. So, like, you're, like, bounding over hills just in midair, being, like, carried along by them. It was the coolest thing ever. I felt like I was in a Disney movie.
You know, that sounds awesome, because you know what my favorite part in Shadow of the Colossus is?
The exploration?
Other than the exploration, I don't know, I don't remember if it's the fourth or fifth Colossus, whatever the bird one is, and you jump on the bird and you're all of a sudden flying around the arena.
It's not exactly like that. It's more like Aladdin. It's a whole new world. You know, it's sort of like that, but it is so much fun just to play that entire thing. The tonal shifts are just beautiful as well. Like, just going from, like, you know, kind of like they ramp you up perfectly to, like, excitement and exhilaration, and then they just bring you down in a very, very, like, natural manner, and then they, you know, bring it back up again for the second part, and then, like, it kind of calms down, gets a little bit eerie, and then it jumps it up with some, like, tension and like stuff like, the tonal shifts in it are just, like, the most, like, Hollywood directors should go play that game so they can understand how tonal shifts should work, because it was a roller coaster of emotions, and all of them just felt completely natural. Everything about it was just, like, so well designed, from, like, every movement that you made, every level design choice was just, like, your eye just immediately went exactly where you were supposed to go, at least for me. Like, everything about it, though, just drew you towards where you needed to be.
I think I only ran into an issue where I kind of didn't know where I was going once. It was near the end, kind of when it was chaotic.
On the mountain?
Yeah. I made a wrong turn once. And
okay.
That stuck with me, because I remembered it being the only time that I ever felt like I went the wrong way.
Was it like one of the pillars that was just off by itself?
I can't remember it. I think, like, there was maybe like a waterfall or water. It was bright.
Oh, okay, near the end there.
Yeah.
Really near the end there.
Mm-hmm.
Jeez. Yeah, I guess because you're doing the same sort of thing as earlier as I was mentioning, but yeah, it's a fantastic game, Nick. I don't know if it's for download or anything like that.
I'll buy it.
I got the 3-pack with Flow and Flower in it, and I still haven't played those, but Journey was just, like, I sat down this morning and played it, and just 2 hours went by without me realizing that they had gone.
I think you played them in the wrong order. You should have played them in the release order, because you can really tell the progression from what was it, Flow, the first game they had?
You know, I played Flow when it was like a Flash game.
Yeah,
something like it.
I'm not sure if the Flash game was ripping it off or inspired by it, or I don't know, but yeah, I mean, Flower has a lot of the similar feel that Journey has. There was one moment where everything's going fast and it felt real good. It felt like everything clicked, but outside of that, I didn't really care for Flower.
Yeah. There was seriously, like, nothing I didn't like about Journey, though. Like, everything about it was just the most fantastic thing in the world. Like, everything from, like, the character design, as I said, every single camera angle was just trailer ready. Like, just beautiful, even if you were, like, inside of like a small cave area. Like it was just like it still looked amazing. I guess the only problem I have with it was the 6-axis control. That like you know if you're like sitting on the floor, like you kind of sit askew a little bit, and like so the controller is slightly tilted, and suddenly the camera starts to roll to the right a little bit, and I'm like, whoa, calm down there. No one actually uses 6-axis. Come on.
Who thought that was a good idea? Come on.
I want to try. I believe Flower. I'm not sure if Journey has also been like upgraded a little bit for PS4. I know Flower at least has been, where they made it.
Wait, Journey's on PS4?
I know Flower is. They made it where if you buy it on the PS3, it's cross-buy with PS4 and PS3. I don't know if Journey is, but I know I heard people talk about how the motion control was a hell of a lot better due to the better controller.
Yeah.
So I'm curious in trying that out. Seeing if it's any noticeable difference. I imagine not, but those guys make some nifty games.
Well, you guys convinced me. I'm going to have to get them.
Yeah, and I mean, as I said, it's a 2-hour investment, which is not bad.
Yeah. It's like Ground Zeroes, except shorter, probably.
Yeah, I mean, like, it's like Ground Zeroes with none of the side stuff, but, like, just seriously, like, go, like, it's definitely a game for you, Nick.
Sounds like it. Everything you've described just sounds like I'm, like, thinking the entire time, that sounds like the perfect game for me.
Yeah, and there's a ton of organic moments with the other characters in the game. Like I was like on the mountain, John, and like they like tell you no one's gonna be around, and then like a guy just came up from behind and was like hiding behind the same thing, and it was just like the most like turnaround feeling of like loneliness in the game to like suddenly there's someone there with you. You know, it was the weirdest like thing in the world, but it was really cool.
That sounds awesome.
Yeah. And then other than that, I played more Battlefront 2. I smashed the Rebellion, so suck it, rebels.
You rebel scum.
And then watched some Mystery Science Theater 3000.
Cool. Which episode or movie should I say?
Godzilla vs. the Sea Monster.
Oh.
Which I had seen the beginning of at least 3 times, but never watched it all the way through. I usually start watching an MST3K like at like 11 o'clock at night, and then like I watch like a half an hour of it, and then I pass out. By the time I wake up, it's like either half over or like, you know, and I'm just like, I should probably go to bed or stop watching it or do something else. So I finally sat down and watched this one all the way through, and it was really funny.
Did you watch it on Netflix?
I watched it on something.
Well, Netflix. Okay. Well, they're on Netflix now, so that's pretty cool.
Cool.
I might
If you have Netflix.
have to give them a shot, because I haven't really watched any of it. There's so many things I haven't seen or watched.
I know.
Yeah, if you need some to start with, Space Mutiny is a really good one.
All right.
Yeah, I saw that one on Netflix, so yeah, I'll do that one.
Manos, Hands of Fate, Prince of Space is really good. They tried to kill him with a forklift. Olé!
What?
Don't worry about it. You'll get it if you watch Prince of Space.
All right. Yeah, I definitely should watch one of them.
Pod People is another really good one. I used to have that one on VHS, going old school. And just within the past few years, I finally donated it to Goodwill or something like that.
What's VHS?
We'll tell you when you're older.
You'll learn that on the bus, John. They'll tell you on the bus. All right, so going right into news, since I don't have anything else. We were talking about PlayStation's money troubles last week, so we're going to talk about Nintendo's money troubles this week.
Oh, boy.
Yeah, Nintendo also has lost a ton of money this fiscal year. Annual sales fell to 10%, or fell 10%, to $5.6 billion instead of the $7 billion from last year, I guess. Something like that.
A lot of money.
That is
yeah, I
quite
guess
a bit.
I guess they lost about $229 million.
Well, what was that thing that was like Nintendo could like just drop out for the next 7 years and just still be financially stable or something like that? Is
Yeah, I
that
think
still viable?
we talked about. I think we talked about it last
Yeah.
week a little bit, and I think like it was within the past like year or something. They went through like so many extra years that it was kind of like, oh, we really should probably do something about this, you know, and that's why the leaders of the heads of Nintendo have been coming out and saying, you know, we're readjusting, we're doing this, we're doing that, you know, so on and so forth.
Well, I heard that they, you know, last quarter with the shareholders, they lowered the expectation on the consoles that they were going to sell for the Wii U, and then they were still under that. Like, they went from, like, expecting 7 million to 2 million, and they were still under that.
Yeah, something like that. They do say they expect to sell 3.6 million Wii U units through March 2015 with help from Mario Kart 8 and Super Smash Bros. Wii U, but I think that's a pretty pie in the sky hope.
Pie in the sky hope. Okay.
Maybe I just don't get Mario. What was it, Mario Kart?
Yeah, Mario Kart.
I don't see that selling systems.
It's a pretty big multiplayer thing. It always has been. I mean, that's what I used to do with some of my friends. We'd go, you know, we'd play Mario Kart, we'd play GoldenEye on the N64, we played Smash on the N64. The Wii has always kind of sold on those sort of games.
You know what? I was gonna say.
The Nintendo, I guess.
You know, I was gonna say. You know what would sell systems? Zelda. And then I really thought about it. And I'm like, you know what? Zelda might not even be able to save the Wii U.
You know, if they come out with a Zelda and a Metroid, that's not Other M, then they might. They might. If they redeem themselves from Other M, they may be able to do it.
Yeah. But not like Wii levels. Like probably GameCube levels of selling systems.
Well, the problem, yeah, definitely GameCube levels. The problem is they went with a new market of consumers that aren't looking to buy another $200 system in a few years. They want the Wii U to be an add-on, not anything more.
Well, that was partially their fault for naming it the Wii U.
Yeah.
Making it sound like it's something that's part of the Wii.
But
that was a really bad idea,
it's-
marketing-wise.
It's you like it too.
No, it's more like... This sounds like something that's not a new system.
You know, if they just called it the
Wii
Wii
should
2, that would have done it.
They could have just called it the Nintendo Revolution.
That would never. People would be like, but that's war, Revolutionary War.
No, because that's what the Wii was originally going to be called, but they could have called the Wii U the Nintendo Revolution, and I'd be like, oh, I remember that name.
Only the hardcore people would remember that name, and those are
Exactly,
the
and
people
all the new people would just be like, what's that? And all the curiosity would be like, oh, it's a new system. Like, why didn't they just do something like that? It's beyond me.
I think Nintendo expected the people who bought the Wii, because it was the really popular thing, to care.
It was their most ridiculous selling thing in the history of ever. The Wii sold ridiculously.
They just hit the right thing at the right time, and it worked for, you know, the Wii Sports. If it wasn't for Wii Sports being as good as it was for what it was, that thing probably doesn't sell, because Wii Sports showcased that controller in a way that felt natural.
Yeah, it was different, and it hit a niche market that wasn't taken advantage at that time. And now you have the Wii U, which alienates that audience. It's just weird. The entire situation is just dire.
I'll probably end up buying one eventually, but I just know I will eventually.
When there's a price cut, I'll buy one.
I can't think of any games that I would want on it.
When there's a price cut and Bayonetta 2 comes out, I'll buy one.
Okay, Bayonetta 2.
I'll probably end up getting Super Smash Brothers and maybe that Mario game.
See, I just want a 3DS just so I can play A Link Between Worlds. Because I love A Link to the Past.
You should get a 3DS. They're not too much.
Yeah, I should get one.
All right, so next on the list of things here, Activision places a $500 million bet on its new IP. Destiny, they're spending $500 million dollars on it to develop, produce, and market. As a comparison, Take-Two only spent $260 million on Grand Theft Auto, the newest, the Grand Theft Auto 5.
Which was the most expensive game, wasn't it?
Yeah, so they're now nearly doubling what GTA is taking to develop, produce, and market on a completely new IP that could be completely terrible.
Oh God.
Yeah, and and they're hoping to sell at least 8 million units.
Wow.
Once again, comparatively, Grand Theft Auto 5 sold 32.5 million units as of February this year.
How many did they want to sell?
8 million?
Okay. That's risky for a brand new IP.
It really
Yes,
is. That's ridiculous.
Yeah.
That's just unsound.
That's like a Capcom idea.
Wait, did most of that money go towards Marty O'Donnell's severance package?
I may probably. But yeah, I guess
Gotta pay that composer.
I mean, I'm gonna just straight up say it. I don't even know anything of what Destiny's gonna be other than a shooter in sci-fi sort of environment.
Well, that
kind of like Borderlands.
That one E3 video looked pretty cool, but that was also in such a controlled environment.
Yeah, I believe the word going around is bullshots.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Speaking of bullshots, maybe they're holding something back for this year's E3.
Yeah. But yeah, I guess it's scheduled to release for September 9th, and considering I don't even know what it is at this point. Like, the article I have from Reuters, it's saying it's a cross between a traditional shooting game format and role-playing game. So, I guess it's basically Mass Effect? Like, I don't know.
It's like Mass Effect, but with multiplayer elements.
They say you play characters in a real-time online world. You get to play as guardians who protect the last city standing on a post-apocalyptic Earth. So,
yeah. The entire game takes place in our solar system. Or something like that.
Here's another.
I have
little
it pre-ordered, so I'll end up playing it. But
okay.
Yeah. Here's another little thing here. To break even, Activision would have to sell about 15 to 16 million units of a $60 game.
Jeez.
Yeah. I don't know if maybe there's some miscommunication, because they were talking about how Bungie is planning on, like, Bungie's very ambitious plan is designed to unfold over a 10-year period, said an Activision spokesperson. So I don't know if they've set $500 million aside for the next 10 years, or if this is just for the one game. Or if maybe they're just going to keep updating and releasing DLC for the same game for 10 years.
Yeah. It's going to be weird. It'll be an experiment, that's for sure.
Yeah. And then, of course, when technology goes to a boom and the generation only lasts for 5 years, we're all just going to look like idiots.
If that happens, this industry is pretty screwed.
Yep.
So let's hope that doesn't happen. I mean, there's definitely interest in games. I mean, the consoles are selling damn good.
All I hope is that this trend in, like, humongous budgets doesn't continue, because all it's going to do is keep killing small studios that take work from big producers.
Mm-hmm.
I think they're always being home on Steam for that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
For the small producers.
Yeah, but then we get stuff like the early access stuff, which makes everyone weary of games from smaller producers, so on and so forth.
Mm-hmm.
It's just double-edged sword?
Yeah.
Yeah, it sounds like it's gonna be bad if this continues.
I don't know. There's enough of a big name behind that game that I imagine they would hit their numbers, what they want to sell, but I wonder how it's gonna, do in reviews and pre-order. Because, for a game like that, it's gonna be tough to get an accurate kind of review gameplay out of it, since it seems to be based heavily on online interaction.
Kind of like, kind of like how, if you ever see, like, how reviewers handle MMORPGs, they, like, kind of review them slowly, and even when they get to a consensus, they're really not sure how it is, because they haven't played enough of it still, because they're still playing it, even though they made the review.
And
it might be like that.
And no one wants to do what they did with SimCity again.
No.
This is an 8 out of 10 game. Oh, it's entirely broken? It's a 4.
Guys, we were just joking. It's totally not.
Yeah, that's the thing. Is it going to work when it comes out?
Probably not. It'll probably have its problems for the first week. That's why you should buy it about a month in. That's why you should always buy it about a month in.
Yeah.
I'll have a release day, so I'll tell you guys.
Well, good luck.
Kind of like how I'm having a much better time with Battlefield now than when I did when I first played it. Except that's EA and DICE, so I guess that's a special case.
Yeah. Next on our list of news, Gamespy Servers to shut down.
No! Wait. What if I want to play that one game? I don't remember what it's called.
Gamespy still existed?
Apparently. Among the list of the fallen include MLB Fantasy All-Stars for the DS.
Damn it.
Sid Meier's Civilization Revolution, NHL 2K10 for the Wii, NBA 2K10 for the Wii, the actual ones that are kind of crappy, Crisis 1 and 2, Battlefield 2, Bad Company 2, both of those. And
Bad Company 2's going out? Damn.
2142. They're working on a way to find a transition to another way to host them, but there's really no official statement on that yet, I guess. But yeah, also in sort of like an up and down during the week, I saw a link that said Star Wars Battlefront 2 multiplayer falls foul of GameSpy server shutdown. So now I don't play the Steam version of Star Wars Battlefront 2. I play the PlayStation 2 version I have and the Xbox version my buddy has, but it still kind of sucks to see something like that go down. But then like the next day I saw another news article on IGN that says Star Wars Battlefront 2 multiplayer will survive GameSpy shutdown. So apparently it's a non-story now.
I always played the single player or split screen. I never played online multiplayer for Battlefront.
Yeah, I've never really either, but of course I kind of started playing like before multiplayer online was really a very popular thing. So
yeah.
Alright, so next on the list, did you guys hear about the Danish government's 1-to-1 scale replica of their country?
I have.
Oh yeah, Minecraft.
Did you hear what happened to it?
Yes. No.
It's not shocking when you think about the Minecraft community.
So the short story is they got griefed. The long story is that they disabled TNT, but forgot that you could put TNT into minecarts. So they didn't disable those. So people blew up major cities and put a bunch of American flags everywhere and like American tanks and put like Danish flags like lower than the American flag.
Dave, you're gonna have to edit in America, fuck yeah, world from Team America in here, right?
I'm not going to do that.
Please do.
Because I mean, honestly, the Danish, the Danish government or the Geodata agency, the Danish Geodata agency, really should have seen this coming. I mean, it's you look on Minecraft for 5 minutes and you're like, oh yeah, Greifing, that's a thing. We should probably be worried about that. But no, they didn't They didn't even worry about it, I guess.
This was like an American insurrection.
I saw some screenshots of it. It looks nothing like it did whenever they showed off it originally. It's like an empty field and then just giant American flags.
I think. Oh wait, I did see that. That's pretty. Yeah, I did see that.
Yeah, and just for clarification here, this wasn't like this. I believe it wasn't like an online map thing. I think it was it. It's just you can download sections of the map. I think.
Okay. I thought it was like a server or something.
Yeah,
I thought it was a server because I heard them talk about how they were putting the original back up.
Oh, okay. All right. I didn't. Well, hopefully they made a backup. That's something your brother learned with our Minecraft server. Yeah, I don't know. This GameSpot article is a little bit dodgy on its wording. So I guess you can download sections of the map. But yeah, that'd be cool. I've never been to Denmark, so maybe I can live vicariously through Minecraft.
Use it as a map when you visit.
Yeah, just walk around real time with.
Where's that giant American flag?
Just walk around real time with Oculus Rift. No, wait, we can't.
Oh.
Someday. In crowdfunding news, Shaq Fu is happening.
What?
To the applause of like no one, I guess. Shaquille O'Neal, maybe.
Does he really applaud that?
Oh yeah, he's involved.
Wow,
he's involved. He. There's a quote here that says, "We're so excited to be working with you all." The studio said. Never mind. That's not him.
Are they aware that they are just part of a joke?
It actually looks. I hate to say this. It actually looks like a pretty good like character action style beat 'em up thing. Like it looks pretty good. It's completely ridiculous and tongue in cheek, but a lot of games are. So whatever.
Is it going to be as good as Shut Up and Jam Gaiden?
No, probably not. Nothing can beat Charles Barkley's Shut Up and Jam Guide.
I need to play more of that. I put probably about an hour and a half into that game. It was the greatest hour and a half of any kind of... what is it even based off of? Is it just like Game Maker? RPG Maker or something like that?
I don't know.
I love that thing. I need to play.
It plays really, really well. The interactive turn-based attacks are really cool. Like the way you attack, like you can do like the fadeaway shot or whatever, but you have to like use the keys to choose which way how you do it. I loved that battle system.
I still have yet to play it. I need to do it. I've only watched people play it.
Someone apparently even claimed the $35,000 backer pack.
$35,000,
and the reward. $35,000, which means that Shaq will DJ a party at his house.
Let's go. We're all going.
Someone
right now.
paid $35,000 for that?
Yes, they did. And they ended with $473,884 from 1,340 backers.
Wow.
Yep. So, hey, whatever. It didn't hit any of its stretch goals, I guess, though. It didn't get I don't even know what they're making it for. Probably just PC. Oh, no, it's in development for 360, Xbone, PS3, PS4, Wii U, and PC. We won't get an iOS or Android release or 3DS or Vita release.
Yet.
But
no Vita.
From what I understand, it's not that hard to port from 4 to Vita, so I would think maybe they'd still do that one. They find the time and money.
It's more of 3 to Vita.
Is it 3 to Vita?
Yeah, they're pretty on some levels they're similar. Of course, the Vita's weaker than it, but you're able to do that with much greater ease than PS4 to Vita.
Oh, okay. In other crowdfunding news, Harmonix has a Kickstarter for a new Amplitude, right? Amplitude there?
Yep. Yeah, I'm excited for that.
trying to find it right now, but I can't. Why don't you talk about it, John, since you have the link, probably?
Yeah, it's they had a game out, Amplitude, for PS2, 2003. It was a very popular game. I never actually played it, but I've seen enough of it. I think I might have played a demo of it, actually. One of those demo discs.
Yeah, I know I had that demo disc.
Yeah, so that's what I'm thinking of. But yeah, I'm excited. I hope that actually makes it. Right now, it's not trending towards actually meeting its goal.
The current numbers right now are $199,546 out of $775,000, and there's 12 days to go. So, yeah, not looking great.
Yeah, the PR guy, his name's escaping me right now, he has said that if they don't get the backing, the game won't be able to be released. The reason why it's only PS4 and PS3 only is that Sony actually owns the IP, Amplitude. Mm-hmm. So I guess this is what they need. Hopefully they get it. It'd be interesting to see them make a game that everyone wants to see them make, or at least the fans of their music games.
I've never heard of Amplitude until just now. So I must have been out of the loop with it.
I feel really weird about this Kickstarter. Because it's just like, it's harmonics. I mean, it's not like it's the guy who made, whatchamacallit, the guy who made Mega Man starting his own company and him needing investors and going to crowdfunding. I mean, it's harmonics, they have presumably some money, somewhere. Right?
I mean, apparently they already put a lot of money into it, but they don't have enough funding to complete it. And they're not able to get that funding. So they crowdsourced.
That's sad.
I don't know. I imagine even if it does fail, it won't be gone forever. Because it seems like they've at least put enough work into it. If you look at their Kickstarter, they have a few concept photos that seem to be pretty well created, at least in the concept phase. I guess it is a whole different story actually building it. But, I don't know. Making games sounds real unfun. And getting funding when stuff like that, it sounds pretty crappy.
Yeah, I guess the funding. Oh, I didn't even see that they have a sweet limited edition color vinyl.
Yep.
It's pretty cool looking. Yeah, I don't know. It just seems really weird, that Harmonix is like, hey, we need your money to do our game. Maybe that's why some people are kind of weary about it and not backing it, or maybe because Amplitude's just such a underground sort of cult classics kind of game that people are don't even know what it is.
I think that might be more of it. I mean, if anyone's played that Rock Band Blitz, is the name of it? Rock Band Blitz? It's similar to that, but Rock Band Blitz is actually a little more simplified. Where you're pressing face buttons to match up with the beats.
Yeah, it wasn't Rock Band was super popular. They got a bunch of money from that, or you would think.
Guitar Hero and that. So.
Yeah, maybe it was all that, all those things they threw into the crowd at the Giant Bomb Panel.
Yeah. That PAX Prime last year.
Yeah, that's what ruined all their money. That's why they're asking everyone. But yeah, I mean, that's kind of my sort of thing with it. It just seems kind of weird that, one, they're asking for so much money. $775,000 is a good amount of money for a at best cult classic PS2 game, and two, they're Harmonix. I feel like they should have some pull that they can be like, hey, give us some money, or we're going to throw in some money, and you guys, if they needed a little bit of help, that's fine. But, this just kind of seems like we want your pre-orders now to prove that people are actually interested in the game.
Yeah, I mean, I also get the feeling that this is more of like a side project because they have, I think it's a music-based first-person shooter that they're also making. Yeah.
How is that gonna work?
It's based, like, you shoot on the beat. It's weird like that. I heard about it, I didn't look about it or actually see it at all. I think that might be in a beta right now, but they also have a game, Fantasia.
Oh yeah, they're making the Fantasia game for Wii, right?
I think that's for PS4 and, or at least I know for sure the Xbox and Xbox 360 and Xbox One.
Yeah, that's what it is. I think it's Kinect.
Yeah, and I think PS4 with the PlayStation camera that they have. But that sounds pretty cool. It's got licensed music in it, remixes based on you moving around and stuff like that.
See, all that sounds like Child of Eden to me, though.
I'm not familiar with Child of Eden.
That's the game made by the guy who made Rez.
If I've seen it, maybe, yeah.
It's like super trippy, kind of Fantavision-y. Everything just sort of explodes. And you get more points if you it's an on-the-rails shooter where you have a lock-on, you use your right hand to lock on, you use your left hand to just rapid fire. And if you use the lock-on and fire to the beat of the song, you get more points. And you do more damage in your attacks.
Okay, I might have seen this before.
Yeah. I own it if you ever want to play it, so. And unfortunately I own a Kinect, so there's that as well.
Woo!
Alright, I guess on to our last news thing here. The new Unreal Tournament will be free.
Yeah.
Yeah, of both monetary value and Cliffy B, so that's two things going for it.
It's not free to play, it's free. Meaning it's not going to have microtransactions.
Okay.
To me, that just sounds like, hey everybody, look at Unreal 4. Don't you love Unreal 4? Aren't you going to use it for all of your games?
Yeah.
Stop using Unity.
Well, I think in their little announcement thing, that's kind of what they said, was basically this is going to be like a platform for people to develop in Unreal 4. Just test it out. Because it's going to be community driven.
Yeah, I guess what they're saying is that a small team from Epic will start it. The Unreal Tournament fans will, make mods and stuff for it, and then as people like what happened with Unreal 3, where Ed Boon's brother made it so it could run at 1080, 60 frames per second. They'll apply those things to Unreal Tournament as it keeps going. So basically, as I said, they're just sort of using it to advertise Unreal Tournament or Unreal Engine 4.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Which, hey, if we get a fun, fast-paced, crazy shooter out of the deal, I'm fine with that.
Yeah. People will play it.
Yeah.
People will play anything.
It's coming out for...
It's free.
Yeah.
Why wouldn't they play it?
It's not coming out for consoles, though.
Yeah. Well, I mean, why would they make it come out for consoles when they can just give you free downloads of it and not have to worry about the crazy shit that's going on with consoles right now?
Yeah.
Moving on to our discussion topic, which is sort of along the same vein as that. Free to play, like you were saying, Unreal Tournament is not going to be.
Yeah, because it doesn't have microtransactions, which is basically the basis of a quote-unquote free-to-play game. And John is familiar with free-to-play games very much so, like Hearthstone, right?
That's really the only free-to-play game that I've ever gone real deep into. But yeah, free-to-play Hearthstone has gotten me for, I think, $25 so far.
How did this all start?
I wanted more cards.
No. I mean free to play in general. No, not you. You're fine. I meant free to play in general. Where did this start?
Horse DLC.
Horse armor, you mean?
Same difference.
Horse armor?
You don't remember the horse armor debacle? What was it, like $30 or something like that?
Which game was this?
Yeah, which one was it? I don't even remember. One of the Elder Scrolls, wasn't it?
It was Oblivion. It was like the first DLC for Oblivion.
It was like a ridiculous amount of money for like literally just armor for your horse. Your horse didn't have a life bar. It didn't ever get attacked, but you could get armor for it for like $30.
Oh, those were the good old days.
Yeah. But, I mean, presumably it just, I think mobile games definitely set it off, but I think it started a lot earlier than that.
Facebook.
You think it was Facebook?
I think it was Facebook.
I think it might be a combination of Facebook and the iTunes store.
Yeah.
They kind of both seem to hit around the same time.
Mm-hmm. Like someone had, like, two different people had the same genius idea.
Farmville.
Farmville.
I've never played Farmville. I don't know how it works.
I haven't either, but my mom has because that's like stereotypical.
Yeah, my mom was real into that gang game. Gang Wars? What was it called?
Oh yeah, that's an old one. I think it was called Gang Wars or something like that.
Well, in the same vein that we always do, that we don't actually research anything before we start talking about these, I just pulled up Wikipedia, and it says that the free-to-play model originated in the late 1990s, early 2000s, from games like Neopets, RuneScape, and MapleStory. So,
RuneScape.
MapleStory.
Oh,
yep.
man.
Do you remember MapleStory?
I do. I played the hell out of the beta. The beta ended and the official game was released. And I lost all interest in that game.
Yeah. What was that? We played a game like that with, it was like tanks. You would go around, but it was like worms or something like that.
Gunbound?
Gunbound, that's what it was.
Oh, I was all up into Gunbound. That might be the first game I put money into that was free to play. When they first put those like items, like VIP. You put the games you create at the front of the server list. It was like $5 a month. Remember begging my mom for her credit card number?
Jeez.
I'd sink entire nights into that game. It was bad.
Yeah, I liked playing that game, but I never put any money into it.
I put like at most $5 a month just for that. I didn't buy any of the cosmetic items. That's going to a different level. I haven't bought cosmetic items in any game free to play.
I have. Oh, not free to play, but I have in regular.
Well, actually, thinking back, I might have bought, if you count like an avatar for the Xbox 360 avatars, I think I put like $1 into something because I had $1 left of points. But I guess that kind of counts as cosmetic, but yeah, we're Gunbound. That was fun. Got real deep into that game in ways that I should not. I was recognizing people who were playing.
Yeah. We both were pretty good at that game too. Mm-hmm. Well, we weren't terrible, I guess, is what you would say. Not really good, but we weren't terrible.
I was in like the ranks that you get by being like in the top percentages. I put way too much time into that.
Yeah. I remember I had really bad internet, so I always had trouble getting. It was like an ordeal to get it up and running.
They banned me.
Did they really?
Yeah, they banned me for not logging in.
What?
Yeah, I found out that it went back to... Because at one point they sold the IP to a different Korean company, and then it got back to the original guys, and I tried logging in when I heard about that, and I was banned. And I was banned for not logging in during that period of time that they lost the IP. It said that I was banned. I had all my stats were still there, all my items were still there, because I could still log in and view that, but it just says you're banned. So I contact their support, and they tell me that that ban is unreversible.
It's classy.
I'm like,
that seems completely like completely unreversible. Really,
yeah,
I can't throw you $500 and you look the other way while someone else flips the switch up. I mean, like, coming from someone who programs for a living, like, that ban's not unreversible. Yeah. You know, it's not impossible. It's just they don't, maybe they don't want to, but I don't know. It's just
maybe they're afraid that my account was hacked, but I mean, all the items were still there. Okay.
I know I used to play Battlefield Heroes. That's what it was. That free-to-play game that was like the crazy third-person, like cartoony sort of answer to Team Fortress a bit. Team Fortress 2, I guess. But that was really fun for the longest time. I liked the. I was okay at the regular battle, but I was a pretty good tanker in that game. I would go and I would take out like 2.5 tanks before they would get me, which is pretty good in that game because there's not really a lot of easy ways to dodge. I was just good at lobbing shots, but that comes from my years of playing Tribes back in the day, and I don't know. It just got to the point where like the originally like just slightly different pay guns were like now ridiculously better. That it just if you didn't pay money, it turned from free to play to pay to win. And I was done. I just was tired of getting killed, you know, almost immediately while going into battle. Like, you would face off with someone, they'd be missing every shot, and then they'd catch you twice and you'd die, even if you were hitting them like all the time.
Yeah, getting into the pay to win, that's when you start to really just cater to the people who have like no budget or have too much money to care about.
Yeah.
And you apparently MapleStory got that way.
But surprisingly, MapleStory is not very well balanced. That's shocking.
Oh yeah.
I know the new version of Tribes, the Tribes Ascension. I don't know if either of you have ever played Tribes.
I heard about it.
The name's familiar, but I've never played it.
It's an old game. Jetpack, futuristic shooter. Not the hit scan where you just point and click. Basically, like they have a bunch of lobbed shots, and you have these disc launchers that explode. It adds a lot of actual skill to the game. But the new version, there was a lot of there's an unlock system like in like any of the new Call of Duty, Battlefield, any of those, where you have to like level up by playing games and stuff, but you can like pay for double experience. They do all the stuff to unlock things by paying, and I played a little bit at the beginning, and I had a really, really good time with it, but I couldn't unlock any of the disc launchers, so I had to stay with the grenade launcher, and it was taking too long to get anything. And I was getting to the point where I was almost wanting to pay for something just so I could change up the gameplay a little bit, and I didn't want to pay for it, so I called it quits.
Yeah. A worrying thing with free-to-play is if you ever are playing it and you get the feeling like, did they make it this way in order to try to get me to buy something? Like, make it abnormally difficult, or the difficulty curve really bad, in a way that makes it feel like the game, if you paid $2 up front, like if it was on the iTunes store for $2, it would have been a more balanced game than if it wasn't, and it's free to play, so they want to get people to put in that money to beat a level. That's where it loses me.
Well, I mean, that was that thing last week that we were talking about with Kotaku, saying, thank goodness that, what was it, Plants vs. Zombies, Garden Warfare, thank goodness it has microtransactions. It was taking me forever to unlock things. It's like you don't realize that was their plan from the beginning, to piss you off about not being able to unlock anything from the beginning, and then, hey guys, why don't you spend a little bit of money a little bit at a time, and, you can unlock some of that stuff, and then keep playing, still not unlock anything, and then just keep giving us all of your money.
Yeah, they need to have some sort of a system for people who would rather pay, like, $15 up front for the full game, without any crazy difficulty curve or energy bars, and just let them play it, like if they like the mechanics.
Yeah. I know I play Puzzles and Dragons almost daily on my phone, and that's a free-to-play game. They have like the two currencies, the in-game, like, just coins, and then they have like the you can buy magic stones, and they're like the secondary free-to-play currency. And they're very, very generous with what they give away to you. And I usually play it like in downtimes at work anyway, so I don't have that much time to play it. So like I could put some money into it and get a bunch of good monsters and like, use there's these two things that randomly generate monsters for you, and the one you get the one you get from like helping people out by them using your monster in games, and the other one you will unlock by getting these magic stones. And I mean, as I said, they're so generous with them that you don't ever really need to put money into it if you don't want to. But I mean, I think it's actually a pretty good system that, like, if you want to get better, like there's a pretty good progression of just general leveling up your monsters, as long as you're not stupid about how it plays, and as long as you're not bad at the puzzle elements of it, you're going to be fine with it. You don't need to spend any money, but you can if you want to. And I think if you're going to do free to play, that's definitely a good way to do it. That you make the free to play elements only unavailable, in mass. You get them every once in a while, and enough that you don't have to spend 8 hours on it just to get like one rare monster. But you don't, maybe enough that if you want more you can, but not, if you don't really want it. Like, I rambled there a bit at the end, sorry.
It's alright. Like, I like a system that, like, Hearthstone has, where every single thing you can do in that game, you don't need to pay money for. So, I know someone who's playing the game who hasn't put $1 into it, has likely more cards unlocked than I have, because I kind of hoard on to the in-game gold, and hasn't put any money into it, and you could play that way forever. I've heard of like top-level players who never put any money into it. So it's a game that, I mean, if you want to get to a top level quick, dropping a lot of money into it will unlock a lot of the cards faster, because you get a lot of card packs, but it doesn't change, the fact that when you're playing it, you still need to know how to play it, and it's all based on skill that way, but I'd like that system.
Yeah. Warframe's the same way. I mean, I haven't put enough time into it, but I can already tell that you don't have to buy any of the platinum to get the other characters or items or weapons. You can just play the game, and you'll eventually unlock those things.
I know when I was playing the Mass Effect 3 multiplayer, I got the trilogy as a gift, so I had to spend absolutely zero money on it to get 3 games, and that is how I justified buying all of the DLC, and I even bought a few weapon packs because I have a bit of an addictive personality sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
But because I use shotguns, with Vanguard, it was entirely impossible to play online for the first few matches, and it just got frustrating, and to that part, like, it was a little bit like they designed it so you would buy weapon packs, and
It did feel like that.
you got a lot of credits, but you didn't get, like, enough that, like, you could get a standard one each time, but there was just so much stuff to unlock that it almost became, like, I don't even know if they did it intentionally, but there was just so much stuff to unlock that it got to the point where you would be upgrading things that you're never going to use,
Yeah, it did feel like that. But, I mean, it was still fun, but it did feel like the system it was taking advantage of me a bit,
Yeah, as I said, I mean, once I got the good shotgun and was actually able to kill some things, I was able to level up a bit, and I even prestiged, or whatever they call it in that, sent my N7 guy to the front lines or whatever for, the one time before I actually beat Mass Effect 3 and stopped playing it, but, like, I had a good time with it, but I just needed that good shotgun, otherwise I was never going to get through anything.
Yeah, I always tried, like, different characters, and, like, I would unlock different things, and I got the Geth Infiltrator, that was really fun. And I got this, female Turian character that was really cool. But I never, like, unlocked, like, the cool characters I would, like, see, like, during my match, and they were, like, doing all this cool stuff. I'm like, oh man, why can't I do that? Like, the N7 soldiers, like, I never unlocked any of those.
Yeah, the Krogan Warlord, the, what was the, I forget what the short guys are called. What are they called?
Volus.
Yeah, the Volus, like biotic guy. That was ridiculous. I always love fighting with those guys. Those guys are great.
Yeah, I wasn't a fan of the random aspect of that card pack, or like packs that you get for the Mass Effect Online.
Yeah, it didn't seem like a good progression.
That's really frustrating in something where you pay money. Like, that's one of the reasons that I don't ever sink any money to Puzzle and Dragons, because, like, if I were to buy, 15 Magic Stones, because it takes 5 for, like, the rare monster thing, I get, when I do use the rare monster thing, like, probably 1 out of 4 times I actually get something worth keeping, because I already have enough that's equivalent to it, but just, not, like, it's different, but it's basically the equivalent. So, like, 1 out of 4 times I'm wasting any of those stones, and it just seems kind of worthless.
Yeah.
And yeah, that's what I found too. Like, that's what they kind of hooked me in for a little bit there with Mass Effect 3. I mean, once again, I was justifying it that I didn't spend my own money on the game, so whatever if I throw them, $20 worth of those things. But it was still, in the end, like, I wasn't getting what I wanted out of those packs, even though I was, using the most expensive ones on there, but it's still, like, I was still throwing money at them because, they weren't giving me anything worthwhile in the long run. Kind of felt like I was being, they were using me at that point.
They were.
They were. Plain and simple,
Thanks,
they were.
EA.
How was your galactic readiness?
100% all around.
All right.
Mine was always 100%.
I also did the online one because that was easier than doing all of the battles. I got like, I started playing the online way too close to the end of the game that I didn't have time to get everything to 100%. So I just started doing the online thing, and that's so easy. You just check into it every day and, like, do the highest, like, hour mission, and it just gives you, like, 2%, and then, like, a day goes by and it goes down 1%, but then you just go up 2% again. So it's slow, but you can do it just, like, in a few days, and it's just a good add-on to what you already have for whatever you're playing online.
Yeah, I'm such a completionist. I got 100% readiness on multiplayer, and then I did every single side quest in single player. So I had super readiness.
I put just a little bit of time into multiplayer, enough to get to, like, 100%. But I also am the guy who would finish everything single player.
The only side mission I missed was the burglar, or whatever her name is. What's the Japanese girl's name?
Kasumi?
Yeah, Katsumi. I fucked up her side mission because of the way you were supposed to go around doing it.
Mm-hmm.
Was very, very unclear. You had to, like, talk to her and then talk to the Spectre and then, like, go onto the Spectre, talk to her again, then go onto the Spectre mainframe computer in your, like, Spectre room thing and, like, advise them to bug the whatchamacallit guy, the ambassador guy, and then you had to, like, break into his office, and, like, I couldn't find where to break into his office because I never bugged his office, and, like, then I just went past a certain story mission, and it was unobtainable at that point.
Yeah, that's a game-breaking bug. I'm not sure if they ever fixed that. Like, even if you quit, like, if you're in the middle of the mission, and you save and quit, and then come back, it screws it up, and you can't finish it, because that happened to me.
Ew.
That sucks.
Yeah.
Anyways, back to free-to-play.
Since we're talking about Mass Effect, which Mass Effect 3 pretty much is free-to-play. You can get it at the dollar store now.
Yeah.
They probably could have just released that online mode free-to-play.
They probably will, eventually. Or something like it.
It'll probably be something like it in Mass Effect 4, or Mass Effect Rebirth, or Mass Effect Revelations, or
Mass Effect whatever.
Something with R.
Reaper.
Mass Effect Reaper.
Mass Effect Return of the Spectre.
Shut up. What about you, Nick? Have you ever played any free-to-play games?
I've been in Warframe, Team Fortress 2, I guess. I mean, it used to not be free-to-play, but now it is, so I guess technically, yeah, I've played Team Fortress 2.
Yeah. Have you played it before it was free-to-play?
Yeah.
Okay.
Before there were hats everywhere.
I've only played Team Fortress 2 a handful of times. Do the hats actually do something?
I'm not sure. I haven't played any of it where it's like... I think they're pretty much cosmetic, aren't they?
That's what I imagine they are. It's like Dota. Steam makes so much... Valve makes so much money off of Dota.
Isn't Dota free-to-play?
Yep.
Yeah, I mean, let's talk about the ultimate free-to-play thing here. The Steam trading cards.
That's not free.
But it's free-to-play. You play it. You play it by metagaming, by playing other games long enough, and by just owning Steam and owning other games, you've played for free.
Oh man, maybe, you know what? I guess it is free. Just there's no reasonable way to finish that without buying packs off of the marketplace.
In concept, it's free to play, but I guess it's not technically free to play. And yeah, you're pretty much right. You pretty much have to buy stuff. I know I've done it for a while now. That all of my badges are just from selling duplicates and buying and like focusing on the badges I have the most cards in.
I think I've put like $10 into buying cards. That was a bad life choice. Might have been more than 10, maybe 15, 10. There was a time where I was putting in just $5, just getting level 5 on a game, get all the emoticons, and just call it a day. But I don't think I see myself doing that. I got out of that pretty quickly.
Yeah, but you still got a bunch of badges for it.
Oh yeah, I'm like, I like the colors of the higher ranks, but they're entirely useless.
Pretty much. Trying to look at your level 37.
Yep.
You have 24 badges. You are level 5 on BioShock Infinite. Civ 5, level 7 on the Holiday Snow Globe for 2013. Level 5 on Game Dev Tycoon, FTL, The Walking Dead, Terraria, Indie Game the movie, Left 4
What?
Dead 2,
Yep.
Pixel, Euro Truck Simulator 2, Grid 2. There's another Civ 5. I think the other one was the expansion.
No, I got the Hollow.
Oh, the foil
yeah,
badge.
The foil.
You got the foil badge for that one. Super Meat Boy. You got the Community Ambassador too, which is really easy to get. And that seems to be it. So those are all level 5.
Those are a lot.
Surprise, surprise, Sean, your brother is playing EU4 at this time. So, just fun facts.
When
Dave, do you have mine?
Huh?
Do you have my Steam?
I mean, I can look you up. Let's do this. This is riveting podcasting right now.
Oh yeah, this is high octane podcasting.
Yeah. Oh, you just logged on.
Ooh.
I don't think you have any.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
You have
Just
two
to see how
badges.
pathetic I am.
You have 2 badges, 8 years of service and 22 games, so you got the 10 plus.
8. That's.
You are doing great.
I think I'm at like 4 years. I signed up for Steam when they gave out Portal for free the first time, and then I sunk like endless amounts of money into their system. Valve is evil.
Valve is worse than EA. Ugh.
Now, see, personally, I have the 100 plus games. I have level 1 for the Snow Globes. I have level 1 for Hotline Miami. What else do I have? Level 1 for FTL, level 1 for Dive Kick, level 1 for Gary's Mod. Yeah. Oh, speaking of Dive Kick, this is completely off topic, but I played the new adjustments to Dive Kick, and I didn't really play it very much, but I mained the Baz, and they completely changed the Baz, and I'm a little upset about that. John, you played Dive Kick, right?
Yeah. I haven't played enough to really know anything really deep about the game.
Did you ever play it as the Baz?
No.
Okay.
Which one is he?
He's the guy that does the lightning kicks.
Who's the one who teleported?
That's S-Kill.
I hate that guy.
He doesn't teleport anymore.
Good. You know what? I'm going to play Dive Kick now. I'm going to try it now. I played against dude teleporting, and I'm like, this is the moment where I quit playing this game.
Yeah. I beat a lot of the story stuff.
I did Dive or Kick. I can't remember. It was a lot of Fresh Prince references.
That's Dive, I believe. I just love that whenever he dies, he just mentions a Will Smith movie. He's just like, The Secret Life of Bees! And one time he's like, Hitch! And I was like, this is the greatest game ever. I love you, Iron Galaxy.
The foil,
you, Dave Lang.
the foil badge is just Dave Lang's face.
Is it really?
Yeah.
Oh gosh, that's the greatest thing ever. As I've mentioned before, I'm a huge fan of Dave Lang. Just because the Lang Zone.
He is crazy.
He is. You were supposed to be dive kicking! Anyways, back from our dive kick tangent back to free-to-play games. Is free-to-play better or worse than bad early access games?
Oh. I would say it's better. Because at least you know with free-to-play you're getting a finished product.
Well, you're getting at least a portion of that finished product.
Yeah. I mean...
I don't know. It really depends. If the early access game is really upfront on the status of the game as is, like doesn't try to trick people into buying a game that is clearly still broken, then I think that's okay. I like that better than most free to play. But if free to play is done right, where it doesn't feel like it's just trying to rip you out of money,
yeah, it's basically, we know the majority of you aren't going to spend money on this. But the people who want to maybe beat it faster, that they can spend a little bit of money and it'll help them out, or it'll decorate their character a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
That stuff I've always been fine with. Especially since it's a free game. The least they can do is try to make a little bit of money off of it to keep paying their employees.
No, death to all game developers.
I hate, early access should only ever be used in beta or later games.
Mm-hmm.
Never alpha builds, because they're always just top-notch garbage.
And don't make your customers pay $30 for it, too.
Yeah, but I mean,
what was
the problem?
Go on.
The problem with alpha build games, making people pay full price, even if you finish the game, alpha build, the way game development goes is you don't know how the game is going to end up until the project is over with. So in your alpha build, your main system could change entirely. So the people that are paying $30 for it right now because they like your main system could be pissed off whenever the game actually releases because the main system has completely changed.
Yeah.
Or the game's just
That's
not
why,
fun yet.
That too. It's either your main system isn't in there, or your main system is going to change because it's not fun. And that's why, of course, Minecraft started the early access. So, Minecraft didn't start actually selling their product until in-game you could build, you could mine, you could craft.
Beta. It didn't start selling until beta.
Yeah, and its alpha you could still play for free during the beta, which was basically just, creative mode, which still exists within Minecraft.
Mm-hmm.
And they didn't have any enemies, but you could still make some basic stuff. You could still, Lego some stuff around, and that was great. I paid, the $11 or whatever it was for the beta build because I said, hey, that looks really, really fun the way it is, and if they add stuff to it, hopefully it'll still be fun, but at least I still, have this little game. And Notch stayed really good with keeping the game the way it was because it was already in beta. And the way, at least I define beta, is that your main game systems are all, your main gameplay systems are in there and do not change, they just get tweaked a little bit to make them either more balanced, more, user-friendly, stuff like that. And alpha is more you're still testing to see what kind of game this is really going to be in the long run. Code can, major systems can still change.
Yeah. Minecraft's kind of an anomaly in the game world. Even with that model, it's just,
how much
there was nothing like it before it.
Well, he's a completely, indie developer with, a team of, 6 people at most, and no publisher, not on Steam, nowhere, except for his own website, because it's just such a small download, and it got pirated, but he still made, millions and millions of dollars on it.
Yeah, now there's a PS4 version, an Xbox One version.
He's sold so many copies of that game that he will never have to worry about money.
There's merchandising. When was the last time you saw merchandising for an indie game?
Minecraft?
Exactly. Minecraft's the only thing.
So I guess our advice here to developers is either, make the game fun or develop it past the alpha stage before you put it on the market. Activision. I don't know, you guys have anything else to say about free-to-play, or I guess early access?
I like video games.
It's a very general statement.
Okay. Can you define video game for me?
No. No, I can't.
In one sentence or less?
Yeah, honestly though, I think it's fine to see how the stuff plays out at the moment, but I do think that the early access stuff is a lot more scumbag Steve than the free-to-play model. At least the free-to-play model, it's like, yeah, I get it, but you don't have to play it. I mean, you don't have to spend any of the money, but the early access model, it's like some people are going in there thinking that they're paying for a full game. Like, not every consumer is smart, you know?
What was the
At the very least, they're paying for a workable game. Sorry, go ahead, John.
what was the name of that one game? It was named very similar to DayZ.
Warzy.
Warzy?
I know what you're talking about.
That was a train wreck of an early access game.
Mm-hmm.
They ended up renaming it. It was so bad.
I don't even know what it's called anymore.
I know Kevin, my younger brother, was playing it, and he was super into it once it released. But that game, when it came out, it was just about broken. They weren't upfront about it in the early access. They weren't. They didn't make it clear that it was early access, that the features that were mentioned in the game weren't in there yet. To the point where it got taken off Steam and Valve gave refunds to people who bought it.
Yeah, thank God they did that. 'Cause...
It was called Infestation Survivor Stories. Thank you, Kevin.
Okay. But apparently they did all right with that game. He stopped playing it. But that was made by the same people who also brought us Big Rigs.
Oh.
Over the road racing.
You're a winner.
Hey, John.
Oh, yeah?
John.
Yeah.
You're a winner.
I stole your joke before you got to say it.
I don't care.
Huh?
Did you see the Angry Video Game Nerd finally did Big Rigs like a month ago?
No, I have to check that out.
It was pretty good.
I have not.
So last question about this. Which is the worst of the three? All right, we got free-to-play games, bad free-to-play games, bad early access games, or games designed specifically for YouTubers like PewDiePie to advertise for them.
They make games like that?
Oh yeah, they make the shitty game maker like horror games, quote unquote. I'm doing finger air quotes, but that doesn't play on a podcast. You know, the games that, like, I Want to Be the Guy, stuff like that, that's just, like, stupid hard, that you just have to memorize a pattern so someone on a scare cam can just get pissed off and yell, and little kids can laugh at it because they think it's funny that the man's yelling.
Do they get to make rape jokes?
Let's not go that deep into it, but which is the worst of the three?
Jeez, that's a loaded question.
So bad.
I know. My vote is probably on bad early access, just because of the amount of money that they're expecting people to play for what is essentially, you know, barely an alpha build of a concept of a game.
Yeah, I would have to say that's the worst.
With this close second to YouTube fodder games, because at least everyone knows at this point pretty much that free-to-play comes with, the microtransactions and is designed that way.
I don't know. A dirty free-to-play game really sucks. Because if you like the mechanics, but you can't play it. Like, there's some games out there that you'll turn on, start a timer, and then you just wait for the timer to finish to start another timer.
Like Dungeon Keeper.
Oh, yeah.
That, I think, is the worst, because it is nothing more than just a time sink. And if you want to finish it up quicker, you can pay money, and your timer will finish quicker.
Yeah, that might be the worst.
I will say, I do play Tiny Death Star, which is just like a bad reworking of Tiny Tower, which is literally that. You just wait for everything to finish. And I don't spend any money on it because I'm not an idiot, or bad with my money, at least too bad with my money. But I do it because usually I'm bored, and I usually look at it for one time a day for like 5 to 10 minutes once again at work when there's some short downtime, and then I don't look at it for another day, and sometimes I don't even look at it like for an entire week. And then I'll just come back to it, and it's just kind of like, because I like Star Wars, it's a stupid little progression thing, and it reminds me of playing Sim Tower back in the day.
I guess there's a time. I mean, if it's designed well enough, but I'm talking like.
Oh, it's not.
Oh,
it's not.
okay.
It's terrible.
Some of the stuff takes like 11 hours to do. At this point, building a new level onto the Death Star is a day and a half at least. So it's kind of getting ridiculous at this point. But like, it's the funny thing is they have the difficulty so well balanced that like the game pretty much hasn't changed for me since the beginning. Like, I'm getting more like money now per like minute or hour or whatever, but the levels all cost like equally more. So it still takes me around the same amount of time to get a new level, even though I'm making more money because of the new level. It's very strange.
Mm-hmm.
But once again, I just use that as a pure time waster. Like, if I have 10 minutes, where I'm staring at, I can either stare at, Facebook, or I can play that, so I do that instead.
Yeah.
Alright, enough about this. It's making me depressed about how much time I waste in my day. Do you guys have anything to recommend? I know I, jerked Journey off quite a bit during the beginning of the podcast, and I will do that again and say it is fantastic, well worth the price of entry, and it's some of the best 2 hours of a game I've ever played. I will say that I left wanting more, but I feel like the game was the right amount of time, because had it gone on for much longer, it probably would have just gotten really, really gimmicky. It definitely ended where it should have. Like, they did, like, all the really fun stuff you want to do using the game mechanics and in that environment, and, it's kind of like, isn't it the Uncharted games where they just make set pieces and then build a story around them?
Yeah.
It's kind of like that, but, like, they've done all these set pieces that they should. Like, there's nothing really more they could go to, but you kind of want more, but I guess that goes back into the replayability. Also, I heard about a movie, today, I had never heard of before, called, was it Dark City? Something like that. It looked really, really good. It looked a lot like a more modern version of like Metropolis, like the old German science fiction movie.
Alright.
So I was super okay with that, because I loved Metropolis a whole lot.
Alright.
Hey, either of you have anything?
Come back to me.
It's something minor, but they released a short little teaser trailer for the new NHL 15 game. It's pretty interesting. It seems to it shows off next generation, going back to talking about sports games, but they have apparently licensed with NBC Sports, so they have new commentary and will actually have like NBC presentation. So it looks pretty good. I'm excited for that. Maybe it's like a 15-20 second trailer. Maybe
it's 50 seconds.
50 seconds. Okay. Well, it felt like it was about half a minute. So
yeah, we'll link it in the description.
Oh yeah, we were talking about Mystery Science Theater 3000 earlier. Have you guys ever checked out RiffTrax?
Yes.
Yeah, I have not.
Sure you have.
I love their recording of, or their commentary or the riffing for The Room. I love really bad movies, and The Room is a really bad movie. And
The Room is awful.
And just their handling of the sex scenes was pretty fantastic as well. Just as what is their little robot pal called?
I don't know.
You don't know? They have this like little robot voice that comes in, and like the purpose of it is because they can't sell, like they can't overdub the movie because of rights.
Mhm.
They just line it up, and every once in a while he comes in and says a line while it's being said in the movie, so you know that you're lined up with the movie still. But they do little jokes, sort of like what Joel and Mike did with Crow and Tom Servo in MST3K with him, and like he comes in with his family, and like during the sex scenes, which are like ridiculous, gratuitous, and like completely like they're like shot ridiculously, like terrifyingly. It's just like
Yeah.
it's just the guy's ass and like this kind of doughy chick, and you feel bad that anyone was involved in that, and so like they keep coming in and just like it like keeps like his mom, like he brings his mom in, and like she's like, oh my gosh, what are you guys doing, you know, like all this stuff. It's pretty great.
Yeah,
We
I've seen a
watched,
couple.
We watched the A New Hope at your place, didn't we?
Yeah, we did, and the Empire Strikes Back one. I've seen the You've seen Wizard People, dear reader, right?
Yes, I have seen Wizard People do it.
Okay. This is for whoever's listening, you got to check that out, cuz just look at Wizard People, dear reader. It's done by the guy who did China, Illinois and the Professor Brothers.
It is pretty fantastic. I'll see if I can find a good link for it. I'm not going to link the YouTube directly. I'll just link the Wikipedia page, and you can search for it on YouTube, because not that we're super popular or anything, but I know that they had some problems with copyright in the past for it, so I don't want to.
It's Harry Potter.
I don't want to. Yeah, it's Harry Potter. It's an overdubbing of Harry Potter.
And it's fantastic.
That makes the Sorcerer's Stones so much better.
It does.
It is just the like Harry comes across as like a drunk, you know, like everyone just seems more and more incompetent than they do like in the movies, and like everything is it's just such a like a good like joke retelling of it, and I know I was laughing throughout the entire thing.
I was.
All right, anyone have anything else last minute?
It's the last minute. Oh no.
No.
Nope.
All right. Well, I guess that's it that wraps up episode 3. Thanks for listening, everybody.
3.
Remember, you can submit questions or comments or suggestions or confirmation of Error 1355 lore to starminepodcast@gmail.com.
Or Twitter.
That's all one word, starminepodcast@gmail.com. We're also on Twitter as Starmine Podcast, and Nick heads that up. That's why it's overflowing sometimes.
You can also follow me if you care about just what I have to say at Error1355 on Twitter.
And all of these links are in our About on our YouTube page. And obviously you know what our YouTube page is, because you're listening to us on there, probably.
Again, pirated podcast. It's big out there.
It is probably big.
That's
well,
a
someone
big problem.
did ask you for a audio version of it, didn't they?
Yeah, which I never gave to them because my site went down.
Yeah. But yeah, Era1355.com is completely dead right now. Thanks, Nitroid.
He knows what he did. He'll never hear this.
He never will.
All
right, bye, everybody.
Bye.
Get your own Twitter, David.
No, never.
Yes.
No.
Goodbye.